I have to talk about this man.
Oh, the garbage, yes.
The garbage.
The garbage.
I have to talk to you about a man named Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, and I don't want to because he's just a pundit. But when we're dealing with an internal conflict that is effectively an existential threat, you need to understand the sentiment that exists among some of these individuals on the establishment side. Cenk Uygur tweets, "Right wing doesn't love Putin just because he is an authoritarian, tyrannical leader. They love him because he's a white authoritarian leader. Race has become more important than even nationality. They've turned on democracy and now even America in favor of a white warlord." This may be one of the most insane things I've ever read. Nowhere in these incoherent ramblings was there even a semblance of a thought. Yet this man has millions of followers and does actually have influence over a large portion of the political discourse in this country. Joe Biden is an old white man.
Yep.
Who is leading the empire of the United States. According to the Young Turks themselves and many of the left, the U.S. is the empire, is the fascist empire. So is Joe Biden not a white, tyrannical authoritarian? Apparently not. Apparently it's Putin. But please show me where right-wing individuals are cheering for what Putin is doing.
Nowhere.
Cenk Uygur highlights Tucker Carlson, saying it proves him right because Tucker explained what Putin's mentality was. That's it.
And I think that's important to understand.
Right.
Is it not?
It is.
Yeah.
When dealing with who is right now your enemy, is it not good to understand the mentality that they have?
It's necessary
to perhaps come to some sort of solution.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They don't want it's this typical rhetoric today where you don't even attempt to understand the other side.
This is insane.
You just declare that they are wrong. And hate them.
Yeah, I would like to understand Putin's side. I'm not like, yay, I wish he was my leader, but I think as a general goes, if I was like playing a video game and I wanted to put a guy in command of my military, I'd pick him over Biden or Xi Jinping, who are both bureaucrats. This guy's got like military experience. He's ex-KGB. He's cold as ice. He doesn't show emotion on his face. He's a good commander. Now, ethically, that's a whole other discussion. And then we have Russia and the United States come from different places, and we have different ethics and morals. That's another conversation. But I have that appreciation for the guy for his abilities.
But just bringing it back to what the U.S. is facing.
But it's not because he's white, and that what Cenk Uygur said is completely racist.
It's not just that. I don't care there's no substance here. It doesn't matter the ideas he's trying to convey. What matters is that he's just not well. Okay, he is
Plus,
a not well person.
It's white people attacking white people.
It's really disturbing.
It's what does this have to do with race? This is typical. Again, talking about priorities of the American mindset. This is what we're worried about. We're worried about white authoritarian leaders. How about just the fact that people are dying?
The Young Turks was a genocidal group of Turks in the early 1900s led by Enver Pasha that basically created the Armenian genocide. It's
basically they did.
Why would he name his company the Young Turks?
And why won't he change the name?
Yeah, dude, why? I just want to know why. It's a cool sounding name, I guess.
Listen, it's because, look, man, I don't want to be overly reductive. Here's a guy spouting that they love Putin. I certainly don't love Putin. I don't know, but I'm not going to assume he's talking about me. I'm not right wing, right?
No, he's talking about me.
He calls me right wing all the time
without being in love with the guy.
Cenk calls me right wing whenever they do segments about me. Certainly, whatever that means, fine. But to imply that I am involved in any kind of love for Putin is psychotic. Cenk Uygur doesn't. I don't think he reads. I don't think he pays attention, and I think he actually look. I'm going to come out and say it. He named his organization the Young Turks, a genocidal group of people. He even denied the existence of the Armenian genocide until I think like 10 years ago or something like that. So even while he had the Young Turks, he's like, it never happened or something like that. And then he apologizes for it. I can respect the apology for it 100%. Bro, change the name of your organization. It's like, and this is something that comes up all the time. But this dude has the nerve to come out and claim the right loves Putin because he's an authoritarian, tyrannical leader. Dude literally names his organization after people who carried out a genocide and refuses to change its name. Dude, don't get your moral lessons from these people. This tweet should be enough to know this dude's lost his mind.
And this is coming from the authoritarian left. I mean, these are the same people that champion Antifa, and exactly. It's such cognitive dissonance. They're talking about authoritarian leaders. What have we been experiencing over the past 2 years with mandates? These people have championed, rule by mandate sort of governing.
Rule by decree.
Rule by decree.
Does Cenk, does he support that? I haven't really followed that. He doesn't talk highly of Antifa.
I would go ahead. Well, I would go ahead and bet heavily.
I would too. Yeah.
I would go ahead and bet heavily that he was pro lockdown. That he was probably pro vaccine mandate, and all of it. And if I'm wrong, correct me. But coming from that portion of the left, these are people that love big government.
Look at this tweet
when
he's
it
got.
caters to them.
Look, I hate to talk about him because he needs this kind of attention. He doesn't nearly get as much attention as he used to, or whatever. He says, I'm sure the fake left in America, Tulsi Gabbard, etc., who are still pretending to be progressive, are livid about this attack on civil rights, let alone Putin's unmitigated imperialism. I'm sure those pundits and award-winning journalists are speaking out forcefully, right? Yes, Russia arresting protesters is wrong, 100%. What world does this man live in, or his followers, that they think the right likes Putin because he's a white tyrannical leader, and that they're happy he's arresting people? This is a fabricated reality that doesn't exist.
Yeah, where's the evidence that thought even has been put out there by anybody credible that represents the right?
I really don't like assumptions in general.
Yeah, that's just one of those things where it's like, at least show me a tweet from somebody who's got as many followers as you do that has said like, yeah, Putin, go get him. Exactly. It's these people love creating enemies where there is none, and boogeyman's where there are none.
The weird thing is, it's like you said these people, Cenk changed. It didn't used to be, he's same guy, but different behavior. He used to be real anti-war and really talking about, right now he'd be talking about Iraq if it was 2007 and like how we are the reason that other countries are invading. I know he knows that, but to get hung up on this crap, man.
I think
and he's just doubled down and gone crazy with
Cenk,
it. But listen. Obviously, what he said was insane. Obviously, the right is not cheering for protesters being arrested who are opposing this. Obviously, they're not out there supporting Putin. He's trying to make it seem like because Tucker Carlson says that Putin does not like Western influence in Ukraine, and here's their perspective, that it's support of Putin. But then what happens is a bunch of other American establishment left personalities defend his insane idea for tribal reasons. Because the right now mocks Cenk Uygur, they're going to come out and be like, he's right. It's a fact now. His psychotic statement is now a fact among these leftists.
The battle of cult worship.
And ignoring the fact that what Tucker Carlson is saying is a mere fact.
Yeah, Tucker...
Talking about the fact that Vladimir Putin is hostile towards Western European influence is a fact. That's not a supporting statement of any kind. There's no emotion in that statement. That is a black and white fact.
They said he echoed Putin's talking points. Echoed. He literally told his audience what Putin said.
He's educating.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
That's a journalist's job is to echo talking points, I believe.
Putin says that the Ukrainian administration is a Western puppet, and then Tucker Carlson on his show says Vladimir Putin views Ukraine as a Western puppet. In 2014, the ousting of Yanukovych, and they're like, he's echoing his talking points. Well, how else is he supposed to tell people what's happening in that country?
I feel like this is a step further.
What Putin's...
I feel like this is a step further on the removing the context thing, like what they did with Joe Rogan. He said the N-word, supposedly, whatever. They completely removed all context. They made it seem like he was insulting someone. So now what they do with Tucker, he's echoing his talking points just by saying that this is what he said. He's reporting the news. He's telling his audience.
He's a journalist.
Exactly. He actually is a journalist.
In fact, that's misleading. Telling someone's talking points is different than echoing them.
Exactly.
Echoing them is claiming that you agree with it and you're repeating it.
Right.
Exactly. Echoing would be like, yeah, and I think that's really bad too.
Exactly.
I'll put it this way. The way Tucker explained what was going on, he spoke factually, but it was very much there's certain things that are happening in Ukraine that Vladimir Putin has stated, which are easy facts. Simply by saying, here's a fact of something that happened in Ukraine. The issue is U.S. corporate press lies. They lied about Joe Biden. They lied about Joe Biden and his quid pro quo. And if you tell the truth on that, you're echoing Putin.
Amazing.
Joe Biden absolutely engaged in illegal quid pro quo.
You're talking about his Burisma?
And Vladimir Putin sees that. And he says, so the prosecutor in the administration is fired because Biden threatened to take away illegally, mind you, aid from the United States.
It's so obviously an American puppet, that country.
Well, you're echoing Putin now.
That Zelensky guy.
See how that works? Now just by observing corruption. You are now in support.
Technically, I said
Russian
it first,
agendas.
so the Russian agendas are in support of me because it was I saw it coming 2 years ago, and I claimed it then. This Zelensky stuff is not... Dude, Biden goes in there. He basically, I don't know what you would call, browbeated the president to fire a guy that was examining a company that his son was on the board of. So the president fired the guy. And then when Biden was a VP, when he left office after Trump gets in, the guy comes back.
He bragged about it. He bragged about it on stage.
Yeah.
Right?
We've talked about this so many times.
Yeah.
It's so important to understand that.
But
That video of him
it's
doing
the
it.
same
If you
country.
say that, then you're echoing, Russian propaganda, and it's
Easy.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.